welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Lori.
We are talking about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 14, Episode number 7, What the Chuck.
Yeah, I don't get the name.
Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese.
Now I get it. Now I get it. I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck are they talking about?
That's really funny.
Okay,
I like it
now. Okay. Yeah, and it is good. I get it now. I get it.
You get it?
That's hysterical.
Okay, so we pick up where we left off at the Viper Room. Kyle and Dorit are both still yelling at each other. And Dorit says to Kyle, the vein is popping out of your forehead. And Dorit's yelling at her, you don't get to speak to me that way. And Kyle's saying, what more do you want? I've already apologized. And I said I wouldn't do it anymore. So it was very volatile at that point. The yelling and the screaming.
Saying she thinks Kyle's guilty, but okay, I was going to say guilty of what? But okay, now that I've watched the whole episode, I know what okay.
Yeah, so Garcelle says to Dorit after Kyle and Dorit are yelling, Garcelle says, Dorit, how are you doing? And Dorit says, do you mean that genuinely? And Garcelle says, oh my God, am I next in line?
Listen, it's a legitimate question. They're clearly not besties.
Right.
It's totally a legitimate question.
It totally was a legitimate question. And I don't know how Garcelle didn't read the room there.
Because
and
go ahead. And like she said in her confessional, it's like, why are you trying to make an emotional connection on me all of a sudden when we haven't talked in like 2 years? Like,
yeah, so all you do is come at me. All Garcelle does is pick on Dorit. She really does.
She does. So Dorit gets aggravated, so she gets up and she walks out, and Erika goes out after her. Dorit apologizes to Erika, for walking out on her night, and Erika's like, don't worry about me. I'm good. Meanwhile, inside, Kyle says, I lost my shit, with Dorit. And both of them said, well, she was trying to get all of her shit out. Like, she was trying to say everything that she wanted to say. And Sutton says, was there an implication that you were sending more than memes? And Bozeman's like, well, we don't know. Like, we don't know if that's what it was because basically you didn't show us the text is really what they're saying.
Right. And I love when Sutton says that Kyle doesn't like to be called out on things. Neither do you, Sutton.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Neither does she. Kyle in her confessional said that, Dorit's only bringing it up to make Kyle look bad. And that this texting in and of itself is that's really not bothering Dorit, according to.
Bullshit.
Right.
I think that's bullshit.
Right. According to Kyle.
Right. Right.
But I think Erika was doing a great job trying to diffuse the situation.
I do too.
She has been a great friend to Dorit this season. And honestly, I think she's been a good friend to Kyle too.
Yeah, I agree.
When Erika was going through everything, Kyle was always there for her. She never left her. She was always there for her. And I feel like Erika is kind of trying to return the favor, and she has been there where Dorit is right now. I mean, obviously it's not the same situation. Erika's been where Dorit's been. Yeah. So I think she's being a great friend to both of them.
No, I agree. I think she is riding the fence. She's being a good friend to both. Like where Dolores always said she was, but she wasn't.
Right. And,
I'll bring it back to Jersey.
Oh, you always do. You always do. What about the sprinkle cookies?
We finally got them.
Let's see. Here they are, bringing it back to Jersey.
We'll be doing our unboxing soon.
Yes, our unboxing and our tasting soon. So when Garcelle asked Dorit that, when she said, how do we even know Kyle is texting PK, and then asked Dorit how she's doing. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Kyle and Sutton looked at each other like what do you mean? Why are you asking her that? Like, read the room, girl.
Because even they thought it was ridiculous that she was asking. You literally just 2 episodes ago, again, doubled down on accusing her husband of insurance fraud and, staging the whole burglary.
Oh, yeah.
She didn't say Dorit knew about it, but you alleged that.
Yeah.
Right? So
that was horrible.
That was
horrible.
Bad. That was so bad. And I believe that we would have known by now, God forbid that were true.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think
I
it's
really
true.
do. I mean,
and when Kyle admitted that she lost her shit, really bad. She wasn't like admitting it in like an apologetic way. There was like no, I lost my shit like that. No, it was just she's just simply making a statement.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well,
Right.
Kyle's allowed to do whatever she wants.
Yeah, I guess.
So then the next scene we see Sutton slicing lemons with Avi, and Kyle and Garcelle are going over and they're having country club day at Sutton's house. Kyle shows up in leggings and a hoodie. I guess she didn't know it was country club day, or
Well, they were playing tennis, so she was
Right.
dressed to play
Yes,
tennis, which Sutton was really dressed to play tennis, but Kyle was like dressed to go to the gym.
Yes, she
like,
was
work
dressed to
out.
go to the gym.
That's how I would have dressed.
Garcelle was dressed to play tennis, even though she said she had an injury that she didn't have.
Yeah, she was too cute.
She just wanted to look the part.
Yeah, she was too cute, and she wanted to just have cocktails. But wait a second, going back to the Viper Room, I just like it when, like how Boz, she was like, just because something was funny and cute a long time ago doesn't mean it's funny or cute now. And how about when Kyle said in her confessional that Dorit came up with all this just so she doesn't look like an asshole? Like, what? It's crazy town. All right, so back to tennis.
Yep, back to tennis. Kyle admits she's not a country club girl, and Sutton is for sure a country club girl. She invites over a tennis pro, I guess, to play tennis with them, and actually, Kyle was pretty good at it.
Yeah, I mean, she's very competitive.
Yeah. She was pretty good at it. I didn't even realize Sutton has a tennis court in her yard.
Yeah. That's, she must live on a busy street.
She does. I've seen, when I look at the aerials, there's a big, huge highway right in her front yard.
Yes. But that party she had where they were dressed all eccentric.
Right, the surreal party, yeah.
Yes.
Was on the tennis court.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
They do such a beautiful job transforming these yards.
They certainly do.
They really do.
That's what money can do. I like how when Sutton's confessionals that she says she thinks that Kyle has a problem, people stand up to her. And that for years, Dorit's been like cowering back and now is not.
Right.
Yeah.
That's basically what's going on. And listen, nothing's going to push you to do that other than you thinking a friend is being inappropriate with your husband. Like, that's going to get you to the point where you're not going to give a fuck anymore. And the nice guy thing's going to go right out the window. Like, don't text my husband inappropriate things about me, about our separation, about anything.
Well, yeah. I mean, basically, like Garcelle and even Sutton have said, if it was them, they wouldn't be comfortable with it either.
No, and I'm glad they said that at the lunch. They said it to Kyle. I wouldn't like it. Both of them said it. I wouldn't like it.
Even if it was just a meme, as Jennifer Tilly on the after show said, oh, they were sending memes.
But Kyle says that, when she got to Sutton's house, she's like, she hasn't been that mad that like the vein has popped out since that time she was in New York with Camille Grammer and they were fighting. And that she really doesn't even remember it, that she blacks out. Like she gets so mad that she doesn't remember what she said.
Yeah, that happens to me.
Does it?
Yeah, happens to me too.
Yeah, if I get pushed to the point where I'm that mad,
when you blow
I'm just going to start saying, and I cut very, very deep with what I say, and I can't see straight.
Okay.
Yep. I see red. I could see red.
Just FYI.
So don't push too hard.
I don't think that I've ever got that way. I don't think I have.
Yeah.
I did.
But
I must have blacked out. I must have blacked
out.
Not a
good way to be. I had to get up last night. Something happened at the JV game, at the basketball game last night with the team we were playing. I won't call them out. I won't go into it. But the cops had to come to the school. This was the JV game. And then the varsity game, the mom sitting behind me and two other parents of our team was so loud and so rude. And I mean, we played a team that's like third in the shore. So obviously they were going to beat us. And every time our kids went to, shoot a basket, she would scream, go, blah, 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 the name of their team.
Yeah, their team.
Every time I had to get up, I said to the mom I was sitting next to, and this woman was literally right behind me. So I know she heard me, and that's fine. I said, I have to leave because every time our guys go to shoot, she starts screaming and it's so fucking rude. I have to move.
It is rude.
And, Eric doesn't sit near me. He sits way up in the bleachers on the side. So I went and sat near him because they would have had to call the cops back. The cops would have had to come right back.
But
we
that's
don't need the
good.
cops reporting to the school again.
You diffused the situation by moving yourself.
I did. I was kind of really proud of myself.
That's good. No, that's
It was a very
absolutely
mature move.
Yes, that's great.
Yeah, it was pretty mature for me. She had a Kate Gosselin haircut too, this woman.
That's not good.
No, she was a throwback.
So we then get back to Kyle and Sutton and Garcelle. Kyle says the first call she made this morning was to Mo.
Yeah, how about that?
And you see the look on Garcelle's face when she said it?
Well,
Yeah.
I saw that.
And she explained to Mo what happened, that she couldn't talk to PK anymore. And he said
she
that
can't
was
be
dumb.
friends with him. Yeah, she said she can't be friends with him.
Right. And Mo thought that was dumb. He didn't understand. Well, of course, he's going to take your side.
He's going to take her side. He's a guy. He's not going to see it the way we see it.
Right.
Of course, he's not going to think anything's wrong with it.
Right. Exactly. But then this conversation got a little odd because that's when Garcelle and Sutton admit that, that they wouldn't like that either. Garcelle said that, she's been in a similar situation with, I guess, a divorce. She goes, but, not with the infidelity. And then Sutton says, well, you had infidelity to Kyle. And Kyle's like, and Garcelle is like, and I don't know if they edited it. I'm sure they edited it like that, but it was just like, does she know what she's saying? And then she goes, oh, with Mo. And Kyle's like, no, when?
Understand why we're still all pretending that Maurizio has not cheated on Kyle. Kyle has done everything other than just say, my husband has cheated on me. She has made it seem that way a lot in the show over the past couple of years without saying it. So let's, again, it's like Meredith Marks. You're on a reality TV show. If this is why you're separated, just fucking say it. People cheat all the time. Just say
That's it. I don't think that's it. I'll be quite honest with you because
You don't think he cheated on her?
I'm not saying that. I don't think that she's ever admitted that he's cheated on her.
She hasn't, but she has said everything else around it.
Everything but
he has.
But if she hasn't admitted it and they don't have hard facts that it happened, I mean, Sutton was saying that you said it. And she said, no, I didn't. She's like, when did I say it? And she's like, well, was it on Instagram? And then she just dropped it. But the fact is she never actually said it because if she did, they would have rolled that footage, right? And they didn't roll that footage. And if she hasn't admitted to it, just because there's rumors out there that says he cheated, I mean, that's what
No, I think that everybody in Beverly Hills probably knows. I'm sure her sister Kathy has told Garcelle and Sutton plenty about Kyle's marriage. And the thing is that you have said things like, he has broken my trust. I have had to tell him, that I don't like him talking to women, DMs he's getting on Instagram.
Well, that's what he said. Engaging with.
Come on now.
That doesn't mean he's cheated. That does not mean he's cheated.
I think that you are very naive.
I mean,
could be. But listen, I have a question. I have a question. So in this conversation, Garcelle says that her divorce situation was different. But I mean, Kyle says that Garcelle's was different. And Garcelle answers that in some ways it was similar. And she says not infidelity, but being angry with each other. Okay. So they're talking about Dorit's situation with PK. So did Dorit say that PK was cheating on her?
No, I think Garcelle was saying her husband cheated on her and PK and Dorit don't have that, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
That's what she was saying.
That's what she was saying.
Confused. Okay.
That's what she was saying.
And then that's when Sutton said to Kyle, well, you've had infidelity. And just the way she said it, like, they've talked about it.
Right. Well, Garcelle in her confessional says that this has been an unspoken thing for years.
Right. So they all know.
Yeah.
And Kyle, Kyle asks Sutton if she's referring to the Instagram situation. And then production flashes back to that thing at the winery.
Right, where she said that.
Right. And then Sutton in her confessional is asked by production if she's referring to the Instagram situation. She answers no.
No.
So she's saying, no, I'm
talking about something else that
I'm talking about something else that
everybody knows.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I say innocent until proven guilty. That's just me. Saying. I'm just me. Listen, you guys can say she's guilty, but I don't
think she's guilty. I think he's guilty.
Well, you think she's guilty for covering up for him.
I do think that. And listen, it's the thing. If she doesn't want her girls to know, that's one thing. But get off reality TV, man, because this is life. This is your life on reality TV. And if it's not, then you're a phony baloney and you shouldn't be on reality TV.
When she said that, he broke my trust, I thought when she was talking about that, she was referring to, what had happened when her friend died. When her friend died, she died by suicide. She felt very alone. That's when she, he wasn't there for her. She didn't feel like
but that's
he
not
was
breaking
there.
Your trust.
Well, it could be. She trusted that he would be there for her for everything. They were married. They've been together for whatever it was, 29 or however many years they've been together. And that was a time that she really needed him. And he wasn't there for her. And that is what I thought she was referring to.
That's how you took it. Yeah.
And because that's when she said it. That's when it came out, when they were having problems, when they were, he was calling her Love Bean, and they were talking about the tattoo, and she was opening up about, what has changed in her life and how she looks at life differently because of what happened, and that she wants to make sure that she's happy, and she surrounds herself with people who are going to support her and be there for her. And she didn't feel that way from her husband at a time she needed him. That's how I took it.
Okay.
It was interesting how they were playing tennis. So you go from the tennis to the lunch where there's like this volley of conversation in the back and forth with the, Kyle saying, "Oh, who are you talking about? What? When?"
Right.
And Kyle's like, "Mo," and I just thought that was cool.
Right. Yeah. Then we see Erika meets up with Dorit and Martyn at the Cocoa Republic, and they're going to do some shopping for her new place. Erika had a very good quote. She said it in her confessional. She explains that style is not an unlimited budget. Style is when you have a budget and you say, I can take these things and mix them together with this, and I can make it fabulous.
Fucking fabulous.
And I wonder if Erika had that motto when she was married to Tom Girardi, and she had
she had an unlimited budget.
Amount of money.
Then she had an unlimited budget.
Yeah.
And I don't think that mansion was her style.
Well, I don't think so either.
That mansion wasn't her style.
I'm sure his first or second wife decorated that thing.
Well, no, you? She said the second wife took everything. She pulled up with a truck. She took
18-wheeler, and 18-wheeler, and didn't even leave him with toilet paper. Where Erika left with 4 cups and 4 plates because she wanted to do the right thing.
That's funny. That's why she said that.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was very nice of Kyle to say that, after that lunch, that she just doesn't know who Dorit is now.
Anymore.
Yeah, she did say that. Yeah.
She just has no incentive to be friends with Dorit right now. But you know what? If you're really friends with somebody, you just don't abandon them for calling you out on something.
Yeah, but this is
this
is not how the Richard sisters operate.
The
Richard sisters operate. You either fall in line or I ice you out for 6 months.
Or I ice you out.
I mean, Kathy does it to Kyle. Kyle's done it to plenty of people on the show. That's how they operate.
And I don't think Kyle thinks that Dorit's calling her out. I think that she thinks Dorit's claims are unfounded. And that's why she's saying that I don't even know who she is. Like, I'm done with her, because she doesn't own her part in it. She doesn't own her part in it. She doesn't think that she did anything wrong. She thinks just Dorit's being Dorit, I guess.
How about when that designer Martyn says, a room is like a face. If the bone structure ain't good, it doesn't matter how much plastic surgery or makeup you put on it. It's not going to work.
Yep. I wrote that one down too.
Yeah, good. I didn't hear him say that, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Well, at least Erika admit that Kyle would not like it if the tables were turned. So that's Garcelle, Sutton, and Erika all saying if the tables were turned, Kyle wouldn't like it.
No,
it's true.
She wouldn't like it.
Erika also says that she's shopping with Dorit that it's been a while since she's even wanted to do anything for herself and to leave the house and to decorate. And she's in a good place now. And I'm glad to see her there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a nice
she was saying
Erika
how
it's,
it's because it's not about survival anymore, but now she wants to thrive. So
exactly.
To hear.
Yeah. Dorit
but
also
his trial is not over, right?
No.
I mean, I was just listening to the Bravo docket on it.
No, it's not over.
But is her part done?
I don't think that. Well, I'm sure something could come up with her again during the trial, but I think that she's just at a better mindset that she's able to deal with whatever's going to come up. She feels like she can just kind of deal with it now.
I mean, there's nothing left for them to take.
Well, no, there is. There's his house. So I think that's what they were basically saying on the Bravo docket. Like, Erika's big interest is that house right now, because if she has to satisfy, not on her own behalf, on the behalf of the Girardi estate or whatever, if she has to satisfy any liens or debts or anything like that, she has the house as
the one
equity.
that she's living in now.
No, the big house.
I thought that was auctioned off.
I don't know. That's what they were saying. That's what I understand. I believe it was on the Bravo docket. I heard that. Her interest is the house so that she could satisfy any debts. I'll look into it.
I thought the house
Not
that
her
she
house. They can't take her house.
Well,
I don't even, like we said, I don't even know that she owns that.
Yeah,
right. We don't know that she owns that, but that house that she lived in with Tom, that was auctioned off a long time ago, like years ago.
Yeah,
Who knows?
I'll have to look into it. 'Cause I thought that's what they were saying.
Because I thought she was at a spot where there's nothing else that they can take. She has nothing. She's given everything.
Yeah, no, she doesn't. And I don't think she's personally responsible. I think it was like on behalf of the estate because he's incompetent.
And they're still legally married.
Right.
They're not divorced.
Right. So she's not his guardian. I think his brother was.
No, right. His brother's his guardian. So then
but
his brother would be...
By marriage, she'd still be responsible for some... I don't know. It's a little complicated. I'm going to have to finish listening to the Bravo docket.
Dorit does tell Erika that the only one she trusts right now is her and Bozma. And Erika says to Dorit, what is it that you need post-Viper Room? And Dorit says, listen, she's meeting Kyle. She's not sharing anything with me. So I don't even know, like, what her and PK are talking about. Like, I don't know what they're sharing with each other because she's not in a good place with PK and she's not in a good place with Kyle.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And, she really didn't give an answer to that question.
She didn't.
Did it?
We do find out later, though, from Bozma, really what it is that she wants from Kyle.
She wants to see the text.
She wants to see the text, right.
Yeah.
She wants to see the text.
Which, if you're only sending memes and funny jokes, you should have had no problem handing that phone over. But we know now, after watching the episode.
Right. So then we see Bozma's up early in the morning. She's going to have fibroid surgery.
She must have been in a lot of pain. I've never, knock on wood, experienced that. But
well, she said that she wasn't really having any symptoms from it. She just had some like distension in her stomach.
Okay.
But she said she really didn't have any symptoms from it. She said this on the after show. But she just wanted to have it taken care of because she really is thinking about starting a family. So she just wanted to get them. She knew they had to come out and she just wanted them out before they caused a problem, and so that she could move ahead with possibly, moving on with her life.
Because she did also let us know that, she's 47 years old and Keely's 48 and he's never had any children. And they've discussed it that they want to have a family together. And if she is not able to have a family with him, she wants to be able to let him know so that, he has other options.
They can make a decision.
Yeah. So then we see 4 hours later, she gets home from surgery. And then 5 hours later, goes over to her house to visit. Now, is that 5 hours after she got home from surgery?
I don't know. That's a pretty bold move, showing up at the chick's house when she just had fibroid surgery.
I know. I thought that was
send
so
some flowers and go see
strange.
her the next day.
Right. And you're only going to defend yourself. You're
And
not
try to get her
going-
on your side.
Right. You're not
And I
going
have that
there.
written down, and then Bozma says it. I think you're
Yeah.
on her side.
You're not going there like out of the goodness of your heart, like, oh, let me see how my new friend is.
Absolutely
No,
not.
you're going there to, like, plead your case.
Yeah, because that, and when she said, Kyle said Dorit doesn't share anything, that was way off.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing you could say can't say about Dorit is that she does not speak about herself enough. She speaks about herself all the time. And as a matter of fact, the other ladies complain about how much she talks.
Yes.
So
And
that was a bunch of BS.
And production did go back to show her at the table talking to Kyle about her marriage problems.
Yes.
Well, what are you doing?
Right. So we know that production set this up. I mean, she had a call time to go over there. And when she walks in her room, she tells her how beautiful the flowers are that she sent her, which, by the way, I did think Kyle's flowers were prettier than Dorit's.
Much nicer. Dorit's were ugly as hell.
Okay. Well, now I wouldn't say that.
No, they were ugly. They were
Okay.
ugly. Dorit,
right.
you need to call your florist.
Okay. No.
Lane, they look like funeral flowers.
All right. This is my take on the flowers. Kyle's were all different pretty shades of pink, and they were very elegant. Dorit's flowers were like birds of paradise and orchids, and they were very tropical. They were two different themed arrangements. I did prefer the roses. I would not say the other one, but that's just me.
You don't have to say it because I did.
I know. And, like you said in her confessional, Bozma said, like, I don't even know why she's here. She's like trying to win me over. And then Kyle says, well, I think my flowers are nicer than hers, which I'm sure Dorit probably said the same thing about her flowers. And Dorit was there before her. So, like, why didn't we get to see Dorit there?
Right.
Right?
Well, Boz says that the problem may be that, that they don't view the friendship in the same way and that Dorit thought they were best friends.
Right. Exactly.
I believe that. I believe that Kyle
I do too.
is superficial with some people, and for the show probably acted like a closer friend to Dorit than she really considered her.
Well, that's what we've said for a long time, is that, Kyle has a lot of people in her life, and, the people on the show are the people on the show. They're not her besties, whereas we don't really see other people in Dorit's life, right?
Her parents, that's it.
Her parents, and, she's got small children, so she's in a different situation.
Right.
She's involved with her children.
And then Kyle bringing up the rumors between Dorit and Mo, like, that's the same as them texting each other. There being rumors out there is not the same as them texting each other. She's like, did I say anything about that? No. Well, what do you say?
Right.
If it's not true, it's not true. And I never believed that anyway about Mo and Dorit.
It really feels like it's like Garcelle, Sutton, and Kyle against Dorit, Boz, and Erika.
I think Erika's in the middle there, but yes, right now.
Yeah. And when they first showed Boz before she went to get her surgery, and they said, the clock said 4:30, I was like, oh, look at her. She's an early riser.
Yeah,
because they showed the time before they said what she was.
Right. She was doing the surgery, right?
Not by choice, right?
Yeah. Right. Well, when Kyle's there visiting with Bozma, she tells her that, Dorit wants to see the text messages. And that's when Kyle says, well, I'm not doing that.
She gets very defensive.
Yeah. She's like, I'm not showing her my text messages. I'm not doing that.
It was like a la Heather Dubrow with the Disney paparazzi defensive.
Yeah. Yeah. So when she says that, she tells her that her and Dorit aren't that close. Kyle says, when somebody's my best friend, I share everything. And then she said, oh, well, Dorit doesn't share anything. So which is it? So if Dorit shared everything according to you, then she would be a better friend for you? Like, what? I don't understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't understand what the point she was trying to make.
I think the point she was trying to make is that she really wasn't that good of friends with Dorit.
Yeah, but she was trying to say the reason why she wasn't such good friends with Dorit is because she said Dorit doesn't share anything and she talks too much. That's basically what she said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm just saying, it's just a weird...
It is weird. It is weird. So then the next thing we see is Kyle, Garcelle, and Sutton are together, and they're going over to surprise Erika.
Surprise that she completely knew about, because she did not look surprised. Oh, you guys surprised me. That's what she said.
Yeah. Kyle did tell her that they were going to dinner, but she thought it was just her and Kyle. And then they all show up, and they are like flabbergasted with the beautiful lemons on her lemon tree. They were beautiful lemons.
They were beautiful lemons. Do you remember when Yolanda was on?
Yes.
And she would just like walk down her steps and just pick lemons. Like, oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
And when I was watching this, and they were, in the in-between scenes where they show all the local scenery and everything, I was thinking to myself, wonder how that's looking now.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So hearts out to the people in California, because those wildfires are just horrible. But I really did think of that when I was looking at that, all the different scenery that they would show in between the scenes, and I thought, oh.
Yeah. So they get Erika in the car. She doesn't know where they're taking her. They blindfold her. They get her out of the car, and they take her to Chuck E. Cheese.
Well, it was her emotional.
It was cute, actually.
Right. It was her.
I mean, that place is a germ fest.
It is a germ fest.
But it was cute that they went there.
I mean, and Erika actually seemed like she appreciated it too, to be quite honest with you.
I think she did.
Yeah. I mean, they were actually playing the games. Like, they were playing skee ball. They were playing basketball. They were actually playing the games. They played more there than they did on the tennis court.
They did.
Right?
They did.
And they didn't invite Dorit or Boz.
Well, Boz just had surgery.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And it's pretty clear why they didn't invite Dorit.
Yeah, Dorit, yeah.
So they sit down after they're done playing their games, and Sutton says, what's really bringing me joy right now is working on my business, since she's divorced. And I'm like, what business? But she does have that upcycled clothing company. And I think she's doing very well with it.
I think she closed her storefront, right? And it's all online now.
It's because she's got it's by appointment only. It's in the back. It's on the other side, and it's like a huge, like a warehouse kind of situation.
Yeah.
It's online and by appointment only. But I think she's doing very well with that. And Kyle says, well, she thinks she's doing okay. Like, her girls don't want to see her lying in bed and just like, but she's not really sure, like what she wants to do. And Garcelle says, well, listen, I mean, you're still talking to Mo every day. You're FaceTiming him all the time. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But what is it you want? And she's just sitting there. And then all of a sudden, Sutton says, well, Garcelle says, wait, who said it?
Garcelle.
Yeah, Garcelle says, if you want to be a lesbian, then just be a lesbian. Because it was Sutton's face that was like, wait,
yeah, she said, yeah, be who you want to be.
Right. If you want to be a lesbian, be a lesbian.
That was pretty funny.
And just looking at their faces was so funny.
Yeah.
But again, I think that was Garcelle just kind of putting it out there. She's already said she's not really sure. She's
I'm going to be
sure.
honest with you. I'm so happy Sutton said the thing about infidelity. I'm so happy Garcelle said the thing about the lesbian. Enough with the beating around the bush, Kyle. If you're going to be on reality TV, just fucking say it. And say it if you don't know. Like, yeah, like I spent time with her, and yeah, there were I caught feelings. Just say it. Stop with the, I can't, I don't like it.
Right.
She's not saying anything. She's coasting. And any other housewife would have been fired for coasting.
Wait a second. Let's just back up. She has admitted that she had feelings for a woman that she never thought that would happen before. She's also admitted that she's not sure. You want her to say, okay, I tried it and I didn't like it. Like, she's not there yet. She's admitted what she can admit.
I don't think what I don't want is her to have these looks of, shock when somebody says something like that to her.
Yeah. So
don't
then
act shocked.
Right. That's the point. That is the point, because then don't do that and then be upset if somebody says, well, you know what? It's your life. You're a grown woman. Be what you want to be. If you want to be a lesbian, be a lesbian. that's hypocritical. That makes
Right.
that makes no sense. Like, don't get all jacked
Just be
up.
like,
Didn't get jacked up. She just was like,
she got a little jacked up.
I mean,
Yeah.
getting jacked up would be like, getting mad and yelling at them and walking out. She just kind of made like a face.
Yeah, but on the after show, she was, all uptight about it and saying that, that's not something Garcelle should have said. But
Why?
why? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe they're tired of her coasting too.
And I like how Erika in her confessional says Garcelle asks the questions that she secretly wants to ask.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, let's put this out there. So why are there different standards on different housewives? So let's look at New York, right? So Jenna Lyons is on New York, and Jenna Lyons is engaged, right? But we don't get to see her fiance, and nobody gives her a hard time about that. But yet we see her fiance's mother.
I do think it's weird, but I don't know why. But for Jenna, like she never had that part of her life on the show.
Okay,
So
it's only her second season.
Right, but she never had that part of her life
Well,
on the show.
that person wasn't even in her life last season.
I think it was towards the end. I think they were towards the end. Well, it doesn't matter. Even still, though. She did have a partner. Remember, she had the partner in the first season, she mentioned, but she wasn't sharing them. She wasn't showing them.
Yeah, so again, like, why is there one standard with one set of housewives and another standard with another? Kyle has shown a lot of her life. She's in a transitional period of her life. She's not divorced. She's separated. So she's still technically married.
It's kind of like the Teresa thing. So Kyle's going to say what Kyle wants to say about her life, but nobody else can question her. It's like the Teresa thing. Teresa was talking to magazines, putting stories out, but when Jacqueline questioned her, she got all.
How did we get back to Jersey? How does
Always.
this always happen? How does this always happen?
Always comes back.
I can sniff a similarity out in a hot second. But that's what I mean. You're right. Kyle has admit that she caught feelings for a woman or whatever she admit to. You're right. She did admit it. But then why, when Garcelle just makes a comment like, yeah, you want to be a lesbian? And I took it as Garcelle saying, like, it's not that you're saying like you'll never be with another man. Like right now,
or
it
it wasn't
like dating a woman, go date a woman.
Right. And it wasn't Garcelle saying
was like, why are you saying that? Like, why is it okay for you to say it and not the people you're on a show with?
And it wasn't
Why do you have
Garcelle...
to label it? Why do you have to label
you
it?
Don't and I don't think that's my point. I don't think Garcelle was labeling it. I think Garcelle was basically saying, if that's where you're at right now, go get it.
But when
and it wasn't like
lesbian,
she was asking her.
She wasn't asking
her. She wasn't asking her. She wasn't saying, well, why don't you just admit that you're a lesbian? She wasn't saying that. She was just saying, look, you're the one who's out there showing you spending all this time with the girl. You're the one that's out there saying, I caught a little bit of feelings. I never thought I would, blah, blah, blah. So it's the hypocritical. It's being a hypocrite about it. That's the problem. Yeah, it's not separate standards. It's just being a hypocrite about it. If you put all that out there, then don't. And I mean, she said lesbian because she spent all that time with a woman and said she caught a little bit of feelings for a woman. So that's why she said lesbian.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't think Garcelle was calling Kyle a lesbian, but typically when two women date each other, they are considered lesbians.
Is.
Right.
That's what I'm just saying. Is. But Garcelle could have said, if you want to date a woman right now, date a woman. I mean, to me, I took it the same way. I didn't think she was labeling her, but, it was the look on Kyle's face and her reaction to Garcelle saying that. It's like, why are you reacting like that? You've put it out there. So why can't somebody else ask you about it? Like, you can only talk about it when you're ready to talk about it because you've thought about what you're going to say and you have it all planned out. But when somebody asks you about it, you're caught off guard and you don't know how to respond. Like, is this your real life or is it not your real life? And you need to plan for your responses. Like Heather Dubrow.
Okay, now we brought in the OC.
Let's see what
else we can bring in.
We really need to create like a trivia game about housewives because I think we would nail it.
I think we would too. So we've talked about New York, New Jersey,
OC.
OC. We didn't talk about Salt Lake yet.
No Salt Lake
We'll get
reference.
there.
Okay, and maybe throw a little Miami or Potomac in there, or Atlanta. I mean, why not? So, okay, off the lesbians topic. Then Erika tells them that she met with Dorit. Okay, how do we get to Erika?
Well, I think she basically tells Kyle Dorit wants to see the text, and I think that's when Kyle shows them the text, right?
Yes.
And ooh.
Well,
Yes.
no, because Kyle says that the fact that Dorit is trying to make it seem like she's inappropriate is gross. So Kyle's the one who brings up the text.
Okay.
Well, no, Erika said it. Erika said that I met with Dorit and she wants to know about the text. She just flat out said it.
Right.
She
Okay.
said it. And Kyle's like, well, you know, you have a lot of friends, but I'm also, and then she shows the text. She's like, I'm going to show you guys, but this is it. I'm not showing anybody else. I'm not going to show anybody else.
And
Which
this
is weird.
Right. And
Right.
but this is when she sent this text when they first made their announcement.
Right. And it said, I know you have a lot of friends, but I am also one, and I'm here if you need me. I've never repeated anything you've shared with me and never would. We will keep sending memes and smiley-faced emojis. That's not a
Not
meme.
a good look.
No.
Well, you could take it a couple ways, and I am no fan of Kyle, so in no way am I defending her. But you could take it as Kyle saying that, you know, now that you're going to get separated and I'm friends with Dorit, I'm not going to talk about anything that we've ever talked about in the past when it comes to their relationship in the past, Dorit and PK's relationship in the past. Or you could take it as she would never talk about anything that she knows about their relationship to the public. So you could take it that way.
Yeah, like she wouldn't go to the media, which I mean,
That's
I
what
don't
I'm.
think Kyle
No,
would ever
but
go to
that's
the media with something like
that's
that. That
that's
would be
just what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
you could take it a couple different ways.
got it.
Well, I would say the fact that she shared that with them, she thought that that was innocent.
Yeah.
Because otherwise she wouldn't have shared it. Like she thought that that was no big deal. Listen, I never thought of it the way you just did, Lori, but maybe that's how she thought of it. In her mind, that's what she thought. When she shared it with them and I heard it, I was like, ooh.
Doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't sound good, but in her mind, it was okay. So
But why do you think then if in her mind she thought it was okay, why wouldn't she just show Dorit?
because she doesn't feel like she has to show Dorit. Because why would Dorit be questioning her?
It's just odd to me that she would show it to the other ladies, but not Dorit, the one specifically asking and whose husband you're texting. So if you
But
really
Dorit-
thought you didn't do anything wrong,
But Dorit didn't ask her. Dorit never asked.
but she knows that Dorit wants to see it, and
Now
she's saying no.
Well, now she knows because she's heard it from two different people. And it's not like she's in a good place. When last time she spoke to Dorit was in the Viper room. So the last time her and Dorit speak is in the Viper room. Then the next day, she's at Sutton's house and she's still not mentally in a good place because she blacked out and doesn't even remember what happened in the Viper room.
Right.
And then every conversation that she's had with anybody since the Viper room has been about what Dorit has done and what she has done and what Dorit wants. But there's never been a conversation between her and Dorit. So if you think about it and you put all that together, yeah, I'm not sure. Like if she wants to, then she needs to, it's all so roundabout.
Yeah.
Everything is roundabout. But I'm glad that like you phrased it the way you did, Lori, like, maybe she's referring to the media because when I was like, why does she think, like, what was her point in this text?
But Dorit could take it as he confided in Kyle about things with their marriage and Kyle saying, I would
Right.
never repeat it to Dorit. Like,
Right.
that is how Dorit could read into it.
You certainly could.
Well, I think that's how everyone else read into it, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
but
Yeah.
That's
This
the
is why
problem with
Eric
text.
always says, don't send text, just call people. You can't,
It's
you
always
know,
a
you got to
problem with
hear it
text.
in people's voices, how they're saying things, because people will read it all different kinds of ways.
Yes, they do.
They do.
And you never put anything in writing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I feel like there's definitely a little more to it than Kyle's putting out there. I think she protesteth too much. I just think there's a little more there than she's saying. Because there has to be, because she's the one who admitted herself that PK's been a better friend to her than Dorit. So obviously,
that was a pretty bold statement.
You're
talking to him about something if you're saying he's a better friend than his wife.
Right.
You're not talking to her at all.
Right. And he's no better friend because he's sending you funny fucking shit. So.
No, or because he's hanging out with your estranged husband.
Well, do you think that that's what it's about, though? Do you think that that's what PK and Kyle's messaging is about? Is it about Mo? Is Kyle getting some sort of comfort from PK? Is PK saying, listen, hang in there, Mo's trying to figure it out? I don't know. Is he trying to be a cheerleader? I don't know.
I don't know.
But the point of the matter is that it really doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
Because once shit went south, she's Dorit's friend.
Right.
You should have just abandoned the ship and been like, you know what? I could just see this going bad. You're a great guy. I wish you luck. Catch up through Mo in regards to where PK's at, but not just.
I mean, I agree with what you're saying. And the other thing I was looking at with this whole situation is I don't think this timeline is as long as we think it is, that Kyle and PK were texting, because they made the announcement in the first episode. That's when the announcement came out, because Dorit told Erika before the announcement came out. Yeah. And that was in the first episode.
But I think according to Kyle, they had been texting for years.
They said they've been texting for years.
What they had been texting for years. That's what I'm saying. They had been texting for years.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is the information that they were texting after they were separated had just come out. It's not like that had been going on for a long time. Maybe at this point it's been a couple weeks.
Yeah.
At most. Do you know what I'm saying? This timeline, we're on episode 7.
Right.
We've seen Kyle, we've seen Mo, the news came out. It seems like it's a long time, but I really don't know how long that time frame is. And as soon as she found out that it was a problem, she said, listen, I won't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I pick your side. Yes, they had been doing it. But as soon, when she found out it was a problem, she says, all right, I won't do it anymore. I don't really think, and this is just me looking at the timeline, when we found out they were separated on the first episode, now we're on episode 7, it's not that big of a time frame that it was announced and that this is all coming out.
Right.
Yeah, but you know what? Maybe, listen, it's a freaking show. Maybe production was like, hey, make this texting thing a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
They're pretty much basing their whole fight about it around it.
Well, that is what it's about.
Yeah.
But maybe who knows who chose that to be the topic is what I'm saying.
Of course.
Everybody needs their paycheck. So if production said, hey, let's make this texting thing a big deal, then that's what they're going to do. I don't know.
Well, either.
Poor Bose is still trying to recover from her surgery, and now Garcelle's knocking on her door to visit her.
Yes, but she brings food.
Rest?
At least she brings food. Yeah, at least she brought food.
She did bring her food.
Yeah.
Garcelle is a good friend.
And how about when Garcelle says Dorit is an embryo in your coochie?
Up your coochie.
Her assistant, that Nico kid, his face.
Yes.
He was just
he's adorable.
He was so aghast.
They are so bitter about Bose and Dorit's friendship.
And she said, Bose said on the after show how hypocritical it is. She's like, so why is it okay for Sutton and Garcelle to be better friends than other people in the group, but it's not okay that I happen to like Dorit?
Exactly. And again, Garcelle totally went there to recruit her.
Yeah. And Garcelle even said on the after show, she said, well, Dorit was hogging the whole situation with Bose so nobody else could get to know her. Come on.
So bizarre to me.
Stop. It's just foolishness.
It's like middle school.
Yeah. It is like middle school. It is.
when they were trying to, like, they were going back and forth, and Jennifer Tilly was like, because they were all talking on the after show, like, oh, like, why would Boz want to be friends with Dorit? And Jennifer Tilly was like, well, Boz does like to solve a problem, so maybe that's why she's attracted to Dorit. I don't know. I just
like, that's not nice.
Who gives a shit? Just be glad. Listen, if you all don't like her, just be glad that she's got somebody else to talk to and move on.
Now you don't have to listen to her go on and on and on like you all complain about.
There you go.
But Garcelle tells Bose about the text.
Correct.
And her reaction was our initial reaction.
Yes, yes. She also says that she didn't realize that there was so much vitriol between them. Like until she saw them at the Viper Room, she's like, I didn't realize it was, And she had seen them at that other party, like when she first met Dorit. So,
right.
It's not like it's the first time,
Yeah.
But we do see in the coming attractions, because it pretty much ends there with Garcelle, that they're at the spa and Bose asks Kyle to read the text. So that's when we see her crying and saying that she's done with the show. So again,
and Dorit must be there, right?
Absolutely. She must be there. So that's when it's going to come out, because even Garcelle and Bose said, like, well, who's going to tell Dorit? And they're both like, not me, not me. So
right.
Bose does it at the spa and puts Kyle on the spot.
Next week, right?
Yeah, that's next week. So,
ooh,
yeah, it's a lot of drama.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of drama in Beverly Hills.
Yeah, there was not a lot of, sometimes when they have like kind of like, I kind of call it like a fluff scene, like not necessarily anything to write home about, but no fluff scenes in this episode. No fluff scene. It was all, every scene was pretty like, when you're taking your notes, something to write about.
Right.
Yeah.
And transitional, like transitioning from one thing to another. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Next week should be good.
Next week we have to wait and see. The texts are finally going to come out. Listen, like you said, Dorit and Kyle appear to be in a good place now. So hopefully, we'll get to see. If not, by the end of the season, we'll certainly find out at the reunion, where they're at or, how they got there. It came out today that the entire OC cast is coming back except for Alexis, which I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you, Jesus.
Well, I mean, I'm not glad to hear about Tamara, but I'm glad to hear that Alexis isn't coming back.
I can't believe they're giving Tamara another season.
Well, because it gives somebody shit to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, because in the end, these are shows and they're produced. Right. So as much as they, suck you into their relationships or what's shown about the relationships, like who knows? Who knows what's real and what's bullshit? Because in the end, it's a show.
And it's true. It's very true.
I mean? It's a show.
Okay. I guess nothing else. You guys have anything else?
Nope. I got some nothing.
Okay. Until next time, thank you for watching. Please follow us anywhere you get your podcast. And we're also on YouTube.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.